Pipsters, my name is Jason. Thanks for tuning into my channel, Pips-N-Chits. Today I'm going to start a solo playthrough series based on a game from 2017 called Tiny Epic Quest, designed by Scott Almes and published by Gamelyn Games. And I'm sure quite a few of you are familiar with the Tiny Epic game series in itself. This game in particular, I guess, is based on the Nintendo Legend of Zelda type video games that were very popular over the last few years or decades, I guess. Honestly, I never owned a Nintendo, nor did I ever play The Legend of Zelda, but from everything that I've read online, I know a lot of people make that comparison to this game. That being said, I'm not going to get too much into the details and teaching you how to play the game. I'm definitely going to talk through it as I play, but there are other videos out there if you want to actually read the rules or understand how to play. Anyway, in this first video here, we're going to go ahead and do the board setup, and I'm going to go ahead and play round number 1. The second video after this will be rounds 2 and 3, and then finally the third video will be rounds 4 and 5, and as you guessed, it's played over 5 rounds. So without further ado, let's go down to the table and let's talk about setup and get right into it.
This is the board setup here, or the table setup, and I've squeezed as much as I can. I have our round tracker here starting, going to be starting at round number 1, and this game is played over 5 rounds. We have our kingdom set up. We have our item rack. I have my dice tower with the 5 appropriate dice here. We have our magic track right here with its mushroom and the spells. I have my epic weapons or epic items down here and my health markers and my power markers. But 2 things we need to do to complete setup here is, one of the things basically is to choose what kingdom we're going to be using. So I have 4 kingdoms here represented by the 4 different colors, yellow, red, green, and blue. I'm just going to shuffle them up. And what I'm going to do is select a card by random. That will be our starting kingdom. I will then get those appropriate meeples out, and we will start with round number 1. So let's see, give it a quick shuffle. I'm not looking, and what's on top? Okay, green. We are going to be the green kingdom, which is right here on the map. So give me a second. I will be back with the green meeples and our green board, and then we will go ahead and shuffle our quests up, and we will start with round number 1. All right, as you can see, I have my 3 meeples starting in their green kingdom here, I guess the forest kingdom. I have my green player board out here. The health marker starts at number 6, which is indicated by this little token up here pointing to the 6. This will track my hit points, if you will. Next is the power marker, which starts at 3, and we have our power token at 3. We have our epic items down here. We have our sword, our shield, and our staff down here. And the only way that I can get these is by completing these temples. Next up, I have to go ahead and shuffle our quest deck, and we will go ahead and reveal 3 quests. And at any given time, there has to be at least 1 map quest, or how you arrange the meeples on the board, and 1 item quest or treasure quest, however you want to call it. If there's ever a reason why there's 3 treasure quests, you will remove the rightmost quest and keep replacing those cards from right to left until you get the right amount or have at least 1 of each of those. At any time, we can complete a quest, a meeple quest, if they are out in the appropriate boards. You don't have to wait until the night phase. And again, if I failed to mention, this game is played over 5 rounds, and each round is made up of a day phase, which we will move our meeples around the board, or our adventurers, and then our night phase, where it's a push your luck mechanic, where we will be rolling dice and trying to complete certain quests or exploring temples. So as you can see, I'm shuffling up our quest deck here, and I think that's probably good. I'm going to have that off here to the side. and we will reveal our first three. So our first one, good. We have a meeple quest here. It says battle the twin krakens. Have two of your meeples on opposite coasts in the same row or column. So as long as I have, meeples on a coastline here, here, or vertically, as long as they're in the same one, that is achieved. Next, okay, good. So we have a temple quest right here, and that is to discover a lost treasure. That would be equipping the bow. And I like this one already because it is the forest one, and we are the forest kingdom, and that would help us be our first temple. You can see down here to progress to get our sword. And finally, we have another Meeple quest. Join the Bards Guild. To complete this quest, have one hero on a temple, one on an obelisk, and one on a portal. So any three of those. So now we will go ahead and move our starting marker there to round number one, and we are ready to play. Now, finally, in the solo variant game, we have our movement cards here, and at any given time, you can only use two of these cards. So we will shuffle them up by random. Actually, I will go ahead and, I dropped the card, excuse me. We will shuffle these so I don't know what's going to be on the top, and we will reveal two cards, and the day phase is basically moving or using 4 out of the 5 cards to move our meeples. So we'll give it one more quick shuffle. Okay, we'll turn it over. So we can either move by raft or by griffin. And let's see, what would we like to do? Where is the forest? I already lost where the forest temple was. Okay, forest temple is way over here. I can't get there diagonally. I can get on a vertical river. Have one here. I might be able. Oh, there's a coast. Well, this might be an easy one, easy quest to complete, as long as I move this one of my meeples down the river here. But I don't think I want to do that yet because I don't have any of my heroes on a temple track. I guess I could do this to attack. Wouldn't be the worst thing to attack a goblin. So maybe we do that. And I know this might seem like an easy opening and cheap move, but I think it is valid. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we will move this meeple down to here to attack a goblin. And at this point here, we have two of your heroes on opposite coasts. Remember, our green kingdom is on a coast right here. And so is this meeple, and I have two of them. So that achieves the battle of the twin krakens. I would normally gain 3 power, but I'm already at maximum, so I'm just going to take this, put this in my victory pile for the end of the game, and we immediately reveal a new, this slides down, forgot. These always slide from left to right. And we have a new one, discover a lost treasure, and that would be in the ice temple. And because I use the raft, we're going to go ahead and turn that over. I can no longer use the raft. And now I can either use by griffin or by foot. And let's see, what would I like? I'd actually really like to get a temple or maybe even learn the snake spell. That wouldn't be so bad. Where's the scorpion? Scorpion spell is down here. Let's see, if I move diagonally, let's see if I can, you know what I could do? I don't have to fight a goblin. I could move this meeple back to learning. You know what? We're going to move him to the obelisk here and hopefully maybe get our level 2 spell. So let's go ahead and do that. That will be using the griffin. So we'll turn that over. And now we have either by foot or by ship. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to get one of our guys on a temple right now. So let's go ahead and use by foot and move this meeple over here to the shadow temple. And the shadow temple will help me at least start working on the shield. And we'll go ahead and move that out of play. And our last one is by ship or by horse. Well, by horse it wouldn't be so. Either one of these are not too bad. If I could take the ship down to this portal or one of these portals here, or the horse, I could just use the horse, move him here, and I would actually probably complete the second one. So why don't we go ahead and do that? I'm just going to move this meeple right here to this portal. And that's more or less joining the Bard's Guild. Have one hero on a temple, one hero on an obelisk, and one hero on a portal, which I just did. So we went ahead and completed that quest. Go ahead and move this down, reveal another one. And now we are going to start our night phase. I can't no longer move our meeple, so we'll go ahead into the roll our dice mechanic here. So let's grab my 5 dice, and remember I want to roll torches to move up on this track here to complete the Shadow Temple. I want to roll the fists to fight off this goblin. And I want to roll mushrooms to try to move the mushroom tracker up here. Remember, I'm starting off the board. I don't know any spells right now. I don't even know a level 1 spell. I want to get to level 2. So I need to move this mushroom tracker all the way at the bare minimum up to this area here. So let's go ahead and start rolling. See what happens. Okay, well, we have 1 fist. We have 2 scrolls, 1 mushroom, and 1 power. And how this is done, how you resolve these dice are in a specific order. If you look at your adventure card here, you always do the take damage first, but we didn't roll any of those. That's good. The second we would do is power, but I'm at maximum power, so I don't gain anything. The third would be mushrooms. I did roll 1 mushroom, so we will move 1 up on the track there. Then in any order, finally, the last part is we resolve the remaining of the dice. Well, if I had 2 scrolls, I could move up on one of the temple tracks, but I'm not at a temple that uses scrolls. I do, however, have this fist. So we can go ahead and punch this goblin 1 time. So he takes 1 damage. Okay. Since nothing happened to us, we'll go ahead and roll again. And now we've taken 2 damage. We've rolled 2 damage dice. Doesn't mean I'm going to take it. We have 1 power. We have 1 mushroom. Oh gosh, I actually take that back. We have 3. Damage dice. Not good. So the first damage, as long as our mushroom, we're in this 0 level right here, the first one can always be ignored. However, these 2 I have to take damage for. So I'm at 6. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to mitigate that. I could use power to mitigate those, but well, you know what? I might. I'm going to use 2 of my power, 1, 2. That will mitigate at least 1 more. This one I can't do anything about. I am going to take 1 damage. That will drop me from 6 to 5. And now that I have those damage dice complete, we will go ahead and use, I gained 1 power, so this actually goes back up from 1 to 2 now. And I rolled another mushroom, which that's kind of okay. So that moves up slowly, but unfortunately I have no movement on the temple track. So we'll roll our dice again, continue to push our luck. This is a little bit better here. Let's get these out and about. So we have 1 damage dice. The first one is ignored, so nothing happens. We have 2 power. So here we can go ahead and raise this to our maximum. I'm at 2. Unfortunately, I can't gain 2. I can only gain the 1. So back up to 3. Scrolls do me no good. However, I have my first torch. I can't move that meeple there on the Shadow Temple. Now, I could, and I'm tempted to, but I don't think I will. I'm tempted. I could also cash in 2 2 of my power to move also 1 up on the temple track, but I'm not going to do that. So let's go ahead and continue to push our luck. And this is a much better roll. So good news is I took no damage. Bad news is I did not move up on the mushroom track, but I did get 3 torches and 1 punch. So this does nothing for us. I will resolve the punching dice by hitting this goblin 1 more time. So he's got 3 health left. Now I have 3 torches. I'll use this first torch to move up 1. And notice on the halfway point, now it takes 2 to move. So we go ahead and move 1 closer up on the track. So that was an okay turn, or okay dice roll. Let's do it again. All right, 1 damage we can ignore. I cannot use power right now. We have no scrolls to use. I can punch this guy in the face. And so we'll go ahead and punch him once right there. We'll continue. I really want to get some more magic though. Well, okay, that kind of helps us out. So the goblin face we can ignore or damage. Power, again, we didn't use any power, so we'll go ahead and ignore that. We do have 2 mushrooms, so that puts us up 1, 2 on the mushroom track. And then finally, we have another torch. Now, I am going to spend 2 power. I'm going to go from 3 down to 1 to give myself another torch. That would give me 2 torches, and we will move this meeple all the way down to the end of the shadow temple. So all I care about at this point now is finishing off this goblin and hopefully getting a couple more spells, mushrooms to move up the spell track so I can learn this level 2 spell. So we're going to continue. All right. Now, because my mushroom has entered the very first zone here, this zone indicated by 1, the rules slightly change. Now that I've rolled a damage dice, I have to actually take a damage. So we will go ahead, unfortunately, and take that damage. I also rolled a mushroom, so that moves us up the mushroom track. The scroll and the torch do us nothing. I'm already at the end of this track. But I did roll 1 more punch, so he is knocked down. He can take 1 more hit point, and he is defeated. And I need at least 2 more mushrooms to get up to that next level. So I think we're going to go ahead and forge ahead. Like to see some more power, too. Okay, so, well, that's kind of okay. So we have a power that will move us from 1 to 2. We have a torch and a scroll, which do us nothing. However, we do have 2 punches. I only needed 1 to defeat this goblin, so he is defeated. He will go into my victory pile, if you will, and he will score me at the end. I think I'm safe to go a little bit more. I need 2 more mushrooms, so I'm going to forge ahead. Oops, and another dice off. Where did it go? Okay. And, oh, okay, well, this did not work out for me. So I have a damage dice here. I'm going to go ahead and take that damage. I don't want to spend the power. Unfortunately, I rolled nothing else that helps me, so that's kind of a bummer. But we're going to continue. And wow, okay, I take 1 more damage. Boy, I'm getting close, so I don't want to go too far. I did grab a power, so that first power there I can go. Well, no, unfortunately, that power, because I only rolled 1 again in this zone, this first zone here, I do not gain a power. I need to roll at least 2, so I don't gain any power. Torches don't do me any good. but the mushroom does move me up one more closer. So I need one more mushroom, and we'll call this the end of the round, hopefully. Okay, great. So power, we can ignore that. I can't do anything with that. Mushroom, however, will push us up into this next zone. That's great. Can't do anything with the scrolls and can't do anything with the punch. So at this time here, I'm going to call round number 1. I'm going to go ahead and rest. So to resolve the remainder of this round here, this Meeple, because he's at this spell with the Scorpion, that's spell level 2, and my Mushroom is at level 2, I can now move my little butterfly token up to this second level. And this will score me points at the end of the game. It's kind of a slow slog up this track, but the more spells I learn, the more points I get. However, it is kind of hard. So this then resets back down here. And for every spell that you learn, according to this down here, is you get one. Your power bumps up for every spell that you go up. So my spell went up by 2. Remember, I started at 0, so this will go from 3 up to 5. That's good. So that's my new maximum level. And then he returns back to the castle. And when he returns back to the castle, for each hero returned, I can either gain 1 heart or 1 power. Well, I'll definitely gain a heart. We were down to 2, and so that'll bring me down to 3, or up to 3, excuse me. Next, we attacked a goblin, and we defeated that goblin, and so he returns to the castle. And the same thing, I can either gain a heart or a power. And because I defeated a goblin, my maximum power will also go up by 1. So I will go from 6 up to 7. But I will move my heart up from 3 to 4. And sorry, that's kind of moving around there. And then lastly, we finished the Shadow Temple. So all this does is when I return him back, this is going to move me up. I'm going to either gain a power or a health. I choose to gain health, so I will go up to 5 hit points now. However, because I completed the Shadow Temple, I get to move my epic shield from the starting position up to the next indicator up on that track. If I complete the Fire Temple, if I ever do finish that one, then I actually get the sword. So at this point now, round number 1 has been resolved, and we will go ahead and get ready for round number 2.